I like stunts, and inevitably you get stunts all the time nowadays. It's that technicality of sort of breaking the scene down, because like Sean's got to sort of do a hit, but then he's got to be taken out of the scene at some stage. The stuntman comes, or the stand-in comes in and sort of takes the hit and then puts Sean back. You've got to sort of go for the right angle, and you can't go for that angle because it doesn't look right, and you've got to go for this, so it all tends to get broken down a little bit. But I do enjoy stuff, yeah. I like blowing up cars best.
I don't do stunts as such. I mean, I don't jump 40, 50 foot off buildings and stuff like that. You know, I don't really want to do that. But you know, when you're a dog, you know about I don't screen. I think what's the point in doing putting yourself in it? And I don't want to get hurt. I don't want to put myself in any danger. I don't see the point in doing that. But I do like to do, you know, some of the action stuff because it's quite exciting. It's quite exhilarating. And all the fight stuff, the fight sequences, and some of the driving and stuff like that.
It's about a man doing something because he's driven to do it, not just because it's violent, or not just because it's entertaining to be violent.
The action comes from the circumstances that this man finds himself in. You know, it's not just put there for like saying, well, you know, we need a bit of action there. We haven't had some for a while. You know what I mean? It actually comes out of the story itself. You know, I don't really believe in doing anything for no reason. I mean, if an action scene's there, it's got to be because there's some kind of conflict and there's some kind of danger, and it erupts into violence, and that is why the action scene is there. But you know, I'm not necessarily more interested in action scenes than I am in other scenes. I mean, I think it's all part of the same. If it's well written and it's well constructed, I think it's all part of the same thing.
72, take 3.
No, here I am.
Here you are. You got a dead man, Neil. Not nice knowing you.
Look here. No shooters, boys. We've got him. Back off, Elgin. Dies cast, Miss Fleming. Step aside. Back off. You. Get in.
Juliet's another person hungry to look at a role that she hasn't really been given the option to play. It's contemporary. She's incredibly energetic and quite difficult. The only really substantial female role in the piece. It's very boys orientated, very action orientated, and she certainly holds her ground as a sort of the princess of organised crime. Yeah.
Shooting people for real is quite a novel experience. I've never done it before. It's quite freaky, really, because it's very loud. The gun's really loud, and then the guys are all rigged up, you know, with blood and stuff. So you shoot them and the blood comes out.
Juliet plays Annie Fleming, who is the daughter of a former mafia godfather figure up in the north, and he got deposed round about the time of the murders and usurped by her lover. In fact, in a way, it's almost like a medieval drama.
Annie, she's such a sort of violently ambitious woman and totally materialistic, and she just loves that. She's an adrenaline junkie, and she just loves that whole life, you know.
Well, I think she's a survivor in a man's world. She certainly uses her sexuality, and Juliet's a very sexy performer. She has an incredible sense of presence and poise, and she's not. Juliet is without fear, and I think the character is in her own way. I mean, inside, I think she's as human as all of us, but Juliet really kind of carries that power across.
She's not tough, butch, kind of tough like that. She's tough, and yeah, she's got passion, she's got life. I think people might admire her. I don't know.
Some actresses look just nice, good-looking women in the flesh, but on the screen, something happens when they absolutely come to life. I mean, it was the same with Ingrid Bergman and various other people. Something about that camera enhances everything they've got. And Juliet, I mean, I could just watch her all day.
Me and Annie are boyfriend, girlfriend, not really married yet, but since her father became ill, who was the head of the clan, of the mafia, I took over. And so me and her now control the Northern Syndicate, the gang bosses. And she's got her own mob in her own right, so she's not just my woman, she's actually a gang boss herself, as I am, so it's quite a high-power relationship.
She's the lover of the leading baddie, and she has always had an affinity with the character Neil Byrne, the character that Sean plays, from the past, when he was involved in the Manchester gangland scene. And so there's a closeness between Juliet and two men. One whom she's sleeping with for reasons of deceit and Machiavellian plans, and enjoying it at the same time, which is an interesting thing for her to portray. And the other with a man that she's always had a soft spot for, who now needs help and comfort and tenderness, which she provides.
How you doing?
Feels strange.
What does?
Just lying here. Being free. No guilt.
She's juxtaposed by two very different male characters. One who she has primarily an almost animal type attraction to, and then our hero Byrne, who she can feel love for. And that, again, I think in the same way for Byrne, it's not a very comfortable feeling for a character. In the way Connor and Annie make love is completely different to the way, well, that's about having sex, whereas the relationship between Byrne and Annie is about a meeting of souls, without wanting to sound too corny.